soul siblings. Thank you for being here and joining me, and my other friends. They're here to join as well. I'm just settling into the energy. I felt pushed by the universe to do this finally. I've been putting it off for quite some time, and I'm glad you're here present with me because we were meant to be here together. I have this beautiful grid set up, present for both of us. Strength and resilience, and sights set on the future for creation, positive creation. I have my large smoky quartz present to be able to clear things for us that may not be serving us. Two of them, actually. This is smoky citrine, which is also two for success, whether that be interpersonal success or whether that be in your life, if there's something specific. So I'm sharing the energy, so I'll be sitting next to this grid with the hopes that it's reaching you and you're feeling it as well right now with everything involved. So I don't have a specific way that this is going to progress. I have a lot of different things that I'll be pulling from. I'm basically going to be doing intuitive reading I have trinkets that I've been collecting. I have a whole pocket of little notes from myself to myself, but now here for you as well. I have a thesaurus that sometimes jumps to have something beckon to be spoken, and I also have a Latin book as well that I often jump into for meaning. I have tarot, if there's anything that is wanting to have a clarification. So I'm also an energy healer. I'm a triple reiki master, traditional usui, karuna, which is multidimensional, and I notice it focuses a lot on ancestral information, and then holy fire as well. So I know that my knack is reaching into our ancestor information. I'm not a shaman. I don't feel that I don't resonate with the elements. However, I feel like there's a unique perspective that is brought upon within me to focus on our lineage, to have today be the best version for ourselves. We are part of a hue of our ancestors, human. So we're just a different reflection in this current state of reality. So I'll introduce, this is Love, my cockatiel on top of my head. So I'm just gonna open up the process with an energy grounding and opening at the same time. With love and light, I only work with love and light, and so I'm sending healing. This is an energy of safe space. One thing that I know I have been guided to do is involve my old Reiki sessions. So my old Reiki sessions, I actually kept track. I would write notes during the session. So sometimes I will be pulling from my old notes of a session. I would write based upon chakras. So I'll just read what I wrote, because for some people it'll resonate, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then just leave it. It's not for you. It's okay. It's just funny, you know? So there's a message that you're repeatedly having your power stolen and misused by somebody else. You have a right to know about this, but you also know too that you cannot fail, no matter what has been taken from you. You don't hold yourself responsible ever for somebody else attempting to leverage and use you for their own. You're giving your power away anytime that you hold yourself responsible, because you can't blame yourself for their actions. The only thing that you can do from here on out is move forward and progress. That was a lesson. Thank you, universe. Thank you, my higher self, for that lesson of progression. And how am I going to implement it now into my future? Jumping out, your thoughts need to stay pure and in a loving place for yourself. I'm being shown, like I was seeing, there's a star meditation. So I love doing a star meditation where I'm in a nebula and I do the color wash. Rojibe, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So I would recommend doing that. It's literally, you can have it as short or as long as you want. I like to do it right before bed. So that way I'm sent off into the ethers with a cleaner energy. Focus needs to be on the next steps. Right now you're too distracted by your past. There's a team, there's like, I don't know if you work with guides or your higher self you see as part of your team, part of yourself, but something about a team is jumping out. And let them lead your purpose. It's funny because there's this talk amongst a lot of people that there's this really strong need to have a know about where you're headed, your purpose. I don't feel that a seed knows it's going to be a tree or a flower. It's just there, present in the now, doing what it is programmed to do. Be part of the ground, receiving the nutrients from the soil, receiving the water, eventually breaking the surface of the dark ground, receiving the elements of the sun. It's not thinking about its process. So I feel like that's something that is just a symbol right now about where you are in your moment, because we sometimes get too caught up having a fear of the future, right? It's normal. It's part of the human process. I don't want to say guilty. I'm there too. I have it often. So yeah. Here, I need to flip to another page. Left hip. So with specific people, I would read information from their physical vessels. So something about this person's left hip. So the left is representative of the feminine part of the body that represents the maternal aspect. So something within your, actually here, I'll ask the cards, why is this left hip information arising in this reading, which I'm telling you is dated from back on 7/3/2014. I don't like that a chunk came out. So yeah, usually when there's a physical ailment or injury, there's representation of something in our lives that is trying to be a flag to catch our attention. Caroline Miss, one of my heroes, medical intuitive, I learned this from her. And so I strongly used that within my energy sessions. So universe, what is this about the left hip? Right below it says structured family, so it has something to do with that. And it makes sense. This totally makes sense. So the left hip, just your hips just in general, that's right where your root chakra is, which is resources, how we're involved in this reality and working with it. So the page of coins came up, which coins represents the resources of this reality, right? So, and then the Three of Swords also came up. However, they came up in reverse. So, because of this past information of your power being stolen from you, right, because the Three of Swords represents that pain. I feel like there's a shift of perspective that needs to shift, or that needs to happen in order for things to stabilize. Maybe you're having money problems, you're in debt. It feels like things aren't aligned right now, and life is not flowing very, very smoothly, maybe for you. It's just part of this season, because you're giving the time to reformulate your thoughts, restructure how you're maneuvering and moving. And I'd recommend maybe going out, doing some movement to your body, playing with your family, if you have pets as companions, hiking, yoga, even dancing is great, jumping on the trampoline, simple stretching. So that's something tied to the left hip that came up. So that way you can break free of that past muck and stuff. And then there's something to just new skill jumped out on the horizon. A new skill will be really beneficial to allow you to move those coins, move that energy, to be a distraction, a good distraction, a positive distraction, so that you're not focusing on that stuff. So be conscious of your relations. You're surrounded by a lot of toxic people, and being mindful of how you interact with them is really key right now, because that's obviously why you're in the place that you're at right now. So learn to help yourself through this process of keeping those boundaries in place for yourself. I hear a lot of people say, like, no is a complete sentence. It's beneficial to say no for yourself, for your family, for your work, whatever it may be. So, last flip. Need more nature. How about that? And then 55 is jumping out. I don't know. For any of those people that like to play and chew on numbers, 55. Just change. 5 represents change. I'm gonna grab a lovely note. I'll show it to you. Literally every single one of my papers. Oh no, it's backwards. I'll have to figure that out. Okay. Focus until improvement in your life. Where I am is constantly changing to something better. I'm relaxed and peaceful because I trust the process of life. All is well in my world. Speak it into fruition. That's what we needed to do. Sorry. That's what we need to do, is to be speaking good things into fruition. Just make sure she doesn't. Can you sit on my shoulder or on my leg, please? Thank you. So yeah, we are the magicians. Our words are spells. We spell out things. So I'm doing my best right now. This is a personal reminder to be mindful about what we're speaking of others, because our words are either making them stronger, having that power over us if we allow it, as well as giving ourselves the strength and power by speaking about what is going right. That's the process of gratitude. That's focusing on the bliss in the moment. To amplify that. That's to be amplified. That's to be focused in on. Let's see here. I'm flipping open to conclude. I don't know. I mean, that's at the top of the page. To bring to an end, or close an end. To reach as a logically necessary end by reasoning judge. How is this ending gonna be written in your story? How are you going to define your part as the character, the main character in your story? I mean, a conclusion is actually, for sure to the day that we launch off this planet and go to the next plane of existence. However, each day we can have this understanding that we've concluded a day. And the day, giving gratitude for what you did have, what you experienced. The stories now too. What stories are concluding? Because the end is the beginning. It really, really is. So I really liked that. That was pretty neat. That was rad. All right, Latin. So I'm just reading. I can't read Latin. I'm letting you know. I actually got this book at a thrift store, and it just told me to take it. So that's all it is. Yeah. I'm just gonna read the translation. I will not even attempt to do the Latin. As soon as more money on the right wing, too unfairly, more horses. I don't know why. At daybreak, rather badly, most like the king, eager for food, more suitable than a sword. And there's 2 ways in parentheses under that. 2 ways. More suitable than a sword. So swords in the tarot represents thoughts, the thought form, and our mental expression. So more suitable than a sword. So there we go back to what I had said earlier about keeping your thoughts pure, because your thoughts are the swords, and then the words. I also like when you nail something into a wall, like you're nailing it in. So yeah, so your thoughts are the first, and then it's a feather for you. Eager for food, more money on the right wing, as soon as. That's an example, I feel, of a lacking mentality, not being grateful for what is and right now. So there's a shift of mindfulness that needs to be focused on that. There is no such thing as lack. We're told that there's not enough on this planet, but there is. And so yeah. More horses. It's funny because that just to me feels like it's saying more horsepower, right? The car has horsepower to make it move. So I'm seeing the chariot card now. So yeah, there just needs to be more energy moving, more doing it forward, going forward, doing more for yourself. You are your own best friend. Don't be your own worst enemy by doing nothing. Speaking to myself, since this is my first video in years. So I will pull a trinket or 2 of love. So random. Okay. We got a little bird, looks like a bird of prey. A hummingbird. Pulled a hummingbird, which is funny because I have a hummingbird tattooed on me. Rad story. I'll tell you some other time if anybody's interested. Waves of change. I loved this analogy that I heard somebody mention, that each of us individuals is a single wave that breaks up above the ocean, and then we dissipate right back into the ocean. So that's often reminding me to flow right now with what life is throwing at you, or what has been created, what you're sifting through, the contrast, as Abraham Hicks often says. And so because in however long is this moment going to matter so severely, Or are you going to look back on this moment and say, gosh, I did it. I overcame that. I found the success that I needed. And then this is actually part of my table. And I don't know how it ended up in here. This is a bolt. So you're tightening things up. I don't want to say fixing things, but you're tightening things up in your life. So good for you. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. So yeah, that is all I'm going to provide for right now. If something spoke to you very deeply, I would really appreciate you telling me in the comments, because I would love to find out what resonated with you the most. Because yeah, the notes for my for my Reiki sessions really have felt like they've needed to be part of this. So yeah, any words would be wonderful and helpful. I honor you, I respect you, soul sibling. I thank you for being here. And I'm just going to close the energy healing in this moment. Lots of love. Have a wonderful day. Bye.